Latest attempt to start World War III in Syria, a sign of cabal desperation. Posted by Benjamin. August 27, 2013. The final takedown of the criminal cabal that illegally seized control of many Western countries is underway according to multiple sources in the Pentagon, MI5, the Italian P2 Freemason Lodge, and in various Asian power centers. The ongoing attempts by these religious fanatic criminals to start Armageddon, this time with an operation in Syria, is nothing more than a sign of desperation. The list of countries that has agreed to attack Syria based on the obvious cabal-staged poisonous gas attack in Syria is also a list of the countries still under cabal control. These are the US, Canada, to my deep shame, France, Israel, Italy, Turkey, Qatar and Saudi Arabia. The fact that other NATO countries, notably Germany, are not participating is a sign the cabal no longer controls the NATO alliance. Globally, the cabal now controls only 8 out of the 195 nations on Earth. It is true these cabal-controlled nations still control considerable military power on paper, but it is extremely unlikely the Pentagon will go along with this latest cabal gambit. From their point of view, it is difficult to see what sort of legitimate U.S. interests would be served by attacking Syria. Instead, they realize this latest horror is just a desperate attempt to start war in order to save cabal control of the financial system. That is not going to be allowed. On that front, a White Dragon Society representative will meet this week with holders of historical Asian bonds issued by the Federal Reserve Board in order to begin moves to either force the Feds to either cash them or be declared bankrupt. The bonds will be taken to the Bank for International Settlements for cashing after the UN, the governments of the US, the EU, Russia, China etc. are formally notified. The money will be used to finance a massive campaign to end poverty and stop environmental destruction. If anybody objects, the specific names of the people or organizations trying to block this move will be publicized and legal action against them will be initiated. Since the International Court of Justice at The Hague is a cabal-controlled institution, it will probably be necessary to set up a special tribunal to carry out mass arrests of top cabal members before work to repair this planet can begin. There will also be continued clandestine efforts to remove cabal proxies from public office in the 8 countries still under cabal control. England, the US and Canada are expected to be the first of the 8 cabal-controlled countries that will be freed. This will be done primarily by using all legal tools available to remove the known cabal mass murderers who are in power in these countries. Of course, the cabal has no intention of going quietly. In addition to their increasingly desperate attempts to start World War III, the Kabbalists are also trying to co-opt the coming revolution. The plan to co-opt the revolution by the cabal is taking the form of controlled opposition. The pumping up of, and mass corporate propaganda media pumping up of people like Edward Snowden and Julian Assange mark them as officially sanctioned rebels. These highly publicized and lionized whistleblowers, despite supposedly having access to huge archives of intelligence files, have somehow failed, for example, to find anything about 9/11, 3/11 or other cabal mass murder events. In any case, the cabal-controlled revolution scenario hopes to use these and other yet-to-be-created anti-heroes to make it seem that a revolution has taken place. Of course, it will just be a case of putting the velvet glove back onto the recently exposed steel fist of cabal fascist control. This plan will fail. In a separate cabal gambit, top cabal agent Adnan Sakli is traveling around Asia, particularly Indonesia, in an attempt to bribe or otherwise influence Asian dynastic families, according to a senior P2 Freemason official. He is being hunted by operatives working for the Vatican as well as the CIA and is thus not expected to remain in action for very long, according to the P2 Freemason official. There is also trouble brewing on the economic front, with China now joining the ranks of countries whose economies are imploding. Mass bankruptcies have begun among small and medium enterprise, according to a Chinese government official. This means the controlled economic implosion that began with the Lehman Brothers crisis of 2008 has worked its way from weaker countries like Greece and the US and is now hitting previously strong economies like China. This is adding to the pressure to start the new financial system and pump money into the global economy ASAP. However, although everybody is sick and tired of the old financial system, solving the question of who gets to control the money pump next is still going to take many months to solve before the new system can begin. The problem is due to a continuing deadlock at the very top of the old system. The big banks have used derivatives fraud to create astronomical amounts of dollars. Quintillions, decadecillions and other such exotic numbers are bandied about in the back rooms and are reluctant to admit this money has no basis in reality. Big banks with equally astronomical derivatives losses on their books are also refusing to recognize their bankruptcy, resulting in deadlock. In the end, it will probably be necessary to shut down all the bank computers and delete all money from this system. After that, only money that is backed by real-world assets will be re-entered into the system. This will mean a lot of work for auditors and other experts in following financial paper trails. Since finance is the process of deciding what we as a species do in the future, there is also a spiritual dimension to the financial system that needs to be properly dealt with. Once cabal control is ended, we need to come up with a new way of deciding what sort of world we want to build with the resources that exist today. If properly done, the new structure will unleash dormant human potential and allow for the biggest changes our species has seen since the beginning of agriculture.